Hey there, it's Scott with HVAC Technician Sales Secrets today. Today I want to talk to you about the know, like, trust formula. Know, like, trust. And if you study copywriting, not like the legal issue of saying, hey, I've got a copyright signal, a C with a circle around it. No, copywriting is the ability to write a direct response ad or an advertisement. So the whole idea is in marketing to create a process where people know you, like you, and trust you. And so if you're a technician, your role and responsibility is all about know, like, trust. Know, like, trust. And so I want to share with you today an important lesson about the know, like, trust formula. And if you're a technician, a manager, or a business owner, pay attention. So if you take a look at a standard year for heating and air, there is a bell curve. And I'm going to give you the stats for Sacramento. Adjust for your industry's location, it's going to be a little bit different. So from about January 1st to about Valentine's Day, February 14th, it's still cold in the Sacramento region, like in the valley. So it's busy, but like around Valentine's Day, it starts to taper off. From Valentine's Day to tax day. Tax day is April 15th, depending upon the year. So let's just say it's April 15th. And then it's springtime and it picks back up. And then from about April 15th to August 15th in Sacramento, it stays relatively busy historically. Then from about April 15th to about November 1st, there's a lull. So it's like a bell curve. It goes like this. And you're like, Scott, what does that have to do with technicians? And I'm going to say everything because it has to do with the know, like, trust formula. So your role and responsibility as a technician is to go out, meet with a buyer, meet with a homeowner, meet with a business owner, and build that long-term relationship. So you have opportunities when you go to a call. You can work with the buyer and or the homeowner or the business owner, and they may buy parts. That's cool. Company makes money. They may buy a club membership, a partnership plan, a maintenance agreement. That's fantastic because in essence, that locks them in for the long run. You're the first person that they call when there's a struggle, and it builds long-term know, like, trust. Know, like, trust. Know, like, trust. Know, like, trust, okay? It's going to be very important here in a second. Or you can sell them a system. Now, in peak season, like let's say here in Sacramento, and we're talking like April 15th till August 15th, you have a higher probability of selling parts or a system where needed if you have that know, like, trust formula in place. If you have that ability for somebody to say, hey, we've had your company, your organization out, I really like your techs, I really like your office staff, let's go ahead and do business. It really helps in the wintertime from that November 1st to roughly Valentine's Day, February 15th, to have people say, we know your company, we like your company, we've got experience with you, we're on your partnership plan, your maintenance agreement, your club membership, whatever you want to call it. We have one of those with you. Know, like, trust. And you're like, Scott, why would you bring that up? Well, this is what you should do from here. Find hvactechsecrets.com. Join the email list, name, email address, phone number. I'll share with you more secrets than what I got going on today. So here's what you need to know. Let's say that it's slow in the season. It's the dips, okay? We're talking like in the beginning of the year, we're talking February 14th, 15th to tax date, April 15th. Well, there's a couple of things that happen. There are people who like to purchase when things aren't moving, okay? So it's like as a consumer, sometimes people like to save money. I'm not saying everybody because everybody's got, you sell how you buy. Everybody's got their own way of making a purchase, but there are some people who are like, I want to buy a system in the off season, okay? So what they do is they go to Uncle Google, and they're like, hey, let me find a heating and air company. All right, cool. Well, they call up 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 heating and air companies. And then they're like, hey, salesperson, tell me what you got. Now, some of those people are going to buy on price. Some of those people are going to buy on features. Some of those people are going to buy based on price and features. Some of those people are going to be like, know, like, trust. Know, like, trust. Okay? And this is super important because like if companies aren't advertising, if you work for an organization that doesn't send out mailers for tune-ups that are like either 70, 80, 90, 100 bucks, whatever the magic number is wherever you work, right? If they don't send those out and they don't send out mail for offers, in lieu of an offer, a text set lead with a know, like, trust really helps. Otherwise, the salesperson the salespeople have to go to town up against people getting 3 bids. Now, as a salesperson, like the dream is a tech set lead that's a freaking laydown where the person's like, I know, like, and trust you. Let's go ahead and move forward. So there's a lot of elements to this. One, do the right thing for the buyer. Okay? Do the right thing for the buyer. Super important that you do the right thing. Now, this is why you have your customer bill of rights and your own internal bill of rights, is because there's going to be a point where you got to make a decision, and in your mind you're like, know, like, trust. Far more important. That's the operating system that I'm going to work off of. Know, like, trust, because that is super important for what we do. The other thing is if you're doing the know, like, trust, sometimes you don't make repairs. Sometimes you don't set a lead for a system when it's not ready. Sometimes you don't set a lead for ductwork or insulation, boiler, whatever you do. Sometimes you're like, hey, if I'm going to work off the know, like, trust formula, here's what I have to know. There's going to be calls that they could kind of be set, or we can wait a little bit longer. A premature call may put that person on the market. And I know you're saying, hey, Scott, a sales guy's job is to set the lead, to sell the lead that I set. Right? Yet that is true. But sometimes when you do a premature lead, your know, like, trust meter isn't high enough. Okay? So sometimes it's like you go out there and you're like, hey, just want to let you know the state of your equipment. Here's what you're up against. Here's where you're at. If there was tread indicators like tires, here's what you should know about what's going on. Okay? Just as a technician, here's what I'm sharing. I want you to start thinking about know, like, trust. If you're a manager, if you are a business owner, this is the important reason to have your technicians trained the right way. You know, if you're going like, hey, every lead has to set an appointment for a turnover. I don't have parts and pieces in my van. I don't want to work with you, because that tells me everything that I need to know. That's like, I'm just to the point in my life where I don't want to work with companies that the only thing that they care about is how many systems can I sell, and I'm not going to take care of my clients. Okay? Just it is what it is. If you're like, hey, I take care of my clients, I recognize that there's times where the technicians aren't supposed to sell stuff, but I want to build that know, like, trust formula, fantastic. You're the type of company I like to work with, okay? But this is why it's super important for you to advertise, because in those lulls, I'm going to give you Sacramento's region from February 14th to April 15th. That's where people are searching. They're going on Google. You're getting the I want to think about it people, the people who are shopping and getting 5, 7, 20 bids. But a technician, when trained right, has the perfect opportunity to explain why that person should move forward now, and why they should work with you. There's ways that you can advertise specials. There's conversations that they can have. And if you're a technician, those are conversations you should learn, right? So if you can only set leads when it's really hot or really cold, you have ineffective training, you have ineffective coaching, and sometimes it's not because you know, but it's not your fault. But now that you know, it's your responsibility. I want you to think about that. My good friend John Benson says that, and I love that saying. It's not your fault, but now that you know, it's your responsibility. So it's not your fault that you didn't know that in the lull of the season, your job, your role as a technician is to set leads where appropriate, right? I'm not saying set all leads. I'm saying set leads where it's appropriate. If you're a business owner, this is why you really need to have some sort of marketing budget set aside, or some co-op funds that you're running an offer or running a special. Right? So you get a different type of buyer who wants an offer or special than the person who's just going to Uncle Google and searching for a heating and air company to get bids, right? So there's a lot of things at play here. There's reputation from the company that comes from know, like, trust, which your technicians have from doing the right thing for your buyer. There is like your analytics from Google My Business and Yelp, Angie's List, Home Advisor, all of those reviews. That's why your technicians really need to be asking for the reviews as part of this know, like, trust formula. There's also the ability for your technicians to set leads based upon a theme, an idea, or a concept. And this is where technicians lose out, and you can track their numbers, because in the summertime, it's really easy to set leads. In the wintertime, it's really easy to set leads. But if your team's struggling, it's because you're not getting the effective training you need. You don't have the right marketing in place. Know, like, trust. Know, like, trust. There you go. Right here, little thing that says HVACtechsecrets.com. Sign up for that. You should. Name, email address, phone number. Know, like, trust formula works to your favor as a technician, as a manager, as a business owner. There you go. You got this. We'll see you soon.